Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the March 27th meeting of the Rotterdam Town Board. Ms. Marco, would you call the roll, please?
Mr. Christo?
Present.
Mr. Guidarelli?
Present.
Mrs. Miller Herrera?
Present.
Mr. Signor?
Present.
Mr. Thomason?
Present.
5 present.
Okay, would you all please stand for the pledge? Ms. Miller Herrera, would you lead us, please?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, our first order of business tonight will be the public comment privilege of the floor. Ms. Marco?
Jack Dodson?
Good evening, Jack Dotson, 1311 Cipriana Terrace. Just a couple things that I have on my agenda to start out with. At the agenda meeting, I appreciate the fact that the whole FOIL request in the town is going to be evaluated as maybe an improved protocol on how that process is managed. So I appreciate that. Two, just a general question is I see on the agenda again, a 9419, an authorization to retain Callahan to fix some sorely needed spots in the town on the state highways. The question I guess I asked the town is, the sum of all those improvements is close to $230,000. And I see that Callahan submitted a price quote. Generally, I know in procurement policies, both in the state and I believe even our town procurement policy generally requires us to advertise in bids for those improvements. We know Callahan well. They're more than capable of working in the state high and doing the work. But the question I have again is, again, I don't constitute it as an emergency. It's not a life-safe, healthy welfare issue because we obviously have time to do it. So I guess I don't need an answer right now, but if you'd like to address
It's coming off state. It's not coming off state bid.
Okay, so
State contract.
It's
state
pricing.
it says it's a state contract, but Steve, when I look at the details of what they actually submitted,
They have to give us a quote for purposes of paying and moving the money from Water 5 to make those repairs.
okay, so I guess that's my question. Are these going to be revised then to show the actual state contract numbers? Because these aren't state I'm familiar with what you get for state contract numbers, and these are lump sums to do these individual repairs, and they're not DOT bid, they're not DOT item numbers.
I'm not going to go back and forth with that with you tonight. I'm telling you that these are this is state pricing, so I'll move forward. If I need to get some more detail, I'll forward it on.
Okay. Thank you for that clarification. Sure. And then I guess the only other thing that I have on my agenda, I was going to speak a little bit on, the item 9619 and 9719. In the end, I just look at that as an unfortunate circumstance that we have to deal with. I'm not so certain we should be spending town taxpayer money on that, but I don't think we have much of a choice. I'd rather end up seeing the thing resolved and actually we have control. I guess my comment on that more importantly would be is if Joe does find out something that's not the greatest with those sewer, that it is acknowledged and it's corrected before and hopefully they pay for it rather than us.
And that's why we engage, again, I want to back forth, but just to be clear on that, that's why we engaged him to do this, but more importantly, the users of that line as it exists now, the Transportation Corporation, have been paying O&M for years.
Yeah.
So it's no one is getting away.
It just cleans it up.
Yep.
I understand.
Yep.
The last thing I guess I would like to speak about again, and I spent some time in the town today, is from my perspective, irregardless of the whole lawsuit relative to Whispering Pines, there is a process that we have in the town relating to site plan approval. In this particular case, it's not site plan approval; it's really clearing and grubbing. And I have an expectation as a taxpayer and a property owner in the town that there's rules. And in my mind, when I attend the public meetings like the planning commission meetings, and I see the amount of time that all the entities put into preparing plans and following the process and getting the approvals, and then I experience something that's contrary to what the plan is, and someone in codes is making an interpretation or their own interpretation on something that they're required to enforce. You know, to me, it appears as though there's preferential treatment, okay, and an opportunity for a contractor to gain. And, you know, my only recourse on that is to file a complaint, of which I did today. And similar to the FOIL process, I'll say, is there's really no protocol that I'm seeing, even though I know we approved new local laws for both of those. You know, I look at it as there's confusion on what is the protocol to do these things. So I just, you know, at some point in time, that would be great if that's addressed.
I can tell you what you're referring to. All the work was stopped there. So I can tell you that our building inspector had already taken care of that matter.
Okay. So my only comment on that, if that were the case, from my standpoint, recognizing that a courtesy, it could have been a simple courtesy and it would have saved me time today. It's just someone to get back to me during the day that says, Mr. Dotson, we've taken care of it. And that
Obviously,
didn't happen.
I wasn't aware that you were here until I got here at 5 o'clock, 4:30, you know, so.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Sure.
Thank you.
Alan Brown.
Hi, my name is Ellen Brown. I live in Pattersonville, New York, but I'm the president of the Rotterdam Challengers Baseball League. And I was just coming here today to find out what our next plan is. I know you guys have said that you're going to work on our fields last year after our season was over and nothing got done. So I was just curious as to what's going to happen. Is it going to affect my league playing this year or any other, you know?
We don't want to do anything that's going to affect any league play, first of all, right? So, but you and I, we spoke a little bit with Chad earlier, so we've had some changes in people and human resources here. From the perspective of people that have retired, and we've reallocated some responsibilities to a couple of other people here just in the past couple of months. So we'll be meeting next week or the week after at the very latest. And Chad will be hopefully voted on tonight to head up the parks employees, and you'll be hearing from us, and we'll get some things scheduled out for the remainder of the year.
Okay, great.
Okay. Yeah. Thanks for coming.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks for following up.
Thanks for everything that you do there too.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That's it, Steve.
Okay. So we're going to the resolutions. Resolution 8819.
Adopt the meeting minutes from the March 13th, 2019 town board meeting.
Okay, may I have a motion, please?
I'll move.
Motion by Mr. Christou. Is there a second, please?
I'll second.
Second by Ms. Miller Herrera. Anyone on the question? Okay, Ms. Mark, would you call the roll, please?
Mr. Christou?
Yes.
Mr. Gitterelli?
Yes.
Mrs. Miller Herrera?
Yes.
Mr. Signor?
Yes.
Mr. Thomason?
Yes.
5 yes.
Okay, resolution 8819 passes. Resolution 8919.
Appoint Mark Haskell and Gary Weglinski of Rotterdam, New York, 12306, to the position of security worker at the compost facility, part-time, from April 1st, 2019 through December 31st, 2019, at an hourly rate of $11.10, contingent upon completion of DCJS background check and compliance with the New York State Corrections Law.
Okay, may I have a motion, please?
I'll move.
Motion by Mr. Signor. Is there a second, please?
Second.
By Mr. Christou. Anyone on the question? Okay, Ms. Marco, please call the roll.
Mr. Christou?
Yes.
Mr. Gitterelli?
Yes.
Mrs. Miller Herrera? Yes. Mr. Signor?
Yes.
Mr. Thomason?
Yes.
5 yes.
Okay, resolution 8919 passes. Resolution 9019.
Amend resolution number 59 of 2019 to appoint individuals to various seasonal and/or part-time positions at the indicated rates of pay for the year of 2019.
Okay, may I have a motion, please?
I'll move.
Motion by Mr. Christou. Is there a second, please?
I'll second.
Second by Mr. Gitterelli. Anyone on the question? Okay, on the question, I'm gonna make you stand up, Chad. So this is Chad. He will be in charge of our park attendants and our full-time and part-time, particularly in the summer, the part-time students that we hire. And how long have you worked for the town?
26 years.
26 years. So I want to thank you for taking on the extra responsibility, and you do a great job, and looking forward to all the work we're going to do for the parks this year. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so Okay, we have a motion by Mr. Christou and a second by Mr. Guidarelli. Ms. Marco, would you call the roll, please?
Mr. Christou?
Yes.
Mr. Guidarelli?
Yes.
Mrs. Miller Rivera?
Yes.
Mr. Signor?
Yes.
Mr. Thomason?
Yes.
5 yes.
Okay, resolution 9019 passes. Thanks, Jack. Resolution 9119.
Appoint individuals members of the Town of Rotterdam Ethics Board.
Okay, may I have a motion, please?
I'll move.
Motion by Mr. Christou. Is there a second, please?
I'll second.
A second by Ms. Miller Herrera. Anyone on the question? Okay, Ms. Marco, would you call the roll, please?
Mr. Christou?
Yes.
Mr. Guidarelli?
Yes.
Mrs. Miller Rivera?
Yes.
Mr. Signor?
Yes.
Mr. Thomason?
Yes.
5 yes.
Okay, resolution 9119 passes. Resolution 9219.
The Town Board of the Town of Rotterdam, acting on behalf of the Town of Rotterdam District Number 5, authorizes the supervisor to enter into a lease agreement between New Singular Wireless PCS LLC, 575 Morgasso Drive, Atlanta, Georgia, 30324, and Town of Rotterdam Water District Number 5 for the installation of communications equipment to be located at 2435 Hamburg Street, tax map number 59.11-7-5, Rotterdam, New York, 12303.
Okay, may I have a motion, please?
I'll move.
Motion by Mr. Christou. Is there a second, please?
I'll second.
Second by Mr. Guidarelli. Anyone on the question? Okay, Ms. Marco, would you call the roll, please?
Mr. Christou?
Yes.
Mr. Guidarelli?
Yes.
Mrs. Miller Herrera?
Yes.
Mr. Signor?
Yes.
Mr. Thomason?
Yes.
5 yes.
Okay, resolution 9219 passes. Resolution 9319.
The Town Board of the Town of Rotterdam accepts the offer from Shelter Point Insurance Company, 600 Northern Boulevard, State 310, or Suite 310, Great Neck, New York, 11021, to provide disability insurance coverage for 2019, based on the best value selection due to the quality, cost, and efficiency of Shelter Point Insurance Company's service. The town supervisor is authorized to sign all documents necessary to execute and accept the insurance coverage.
Okay, may I have a motion, please?
I'll move.
Motion by Ms. Miller Herrera. Is there a second, please?
I'll second.
Second by Mr. Christou. Is any question? No questions? Okay, Ms. Marco, would you please call the roll?
Mr. Christou?
Yes.
Mr. Guidarelli?
Yes.
Mrs. Miller Herrera?
Yes.
Mr. Signor?
Yes.
Mr. Thomason?
Yes.
5 yes.
Okay, resolution 9319 passes. Resolution 9419.
Authorize the supervisor to sign an agreement with Calian Industries Incorporated, P.O. Box 15097, Albany, New York, 12212, to repair Altamont Avenue, Curry Road, and Bernard Street.
Okay, may I have a motion, please?
I'll move.
Motion by Mr. Signor, second by Ms. Miller Herrera.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, anyone on the question? Okay, Ms. Marco, please call the roll.
Mr. Christou?
Yes.
Mr. Guidarelli?
Yes.
Mrs. Miller Herrera?
Yes.
Mr. Signor?
Yes.
Mr. Thomason?
Yes.
5 yes.
Okay, resolution 9419 passes. Resolution 9519.
Authorize the supervisor to execute an agreement with Carter Convoy, Case, Blackmore, Maloney, and Laird, PC, 480 Broadway, Suite 250, Saratoga Springs, New York, 12866, in an amount not to exceed $5,000.
Okay, may I have a motion, please?
I'll move.
Motion by Mr. Christou. Is there a second, please?
I'll second.
Second by Ms. Miller Herrera. Anyone on the question? Okay, Ms. Marco, please call the roll.
Mr. Christou?
Yes.
Mr. Guidarelli?
Yes.
Mrs. Miller Herrera?
Yes.
Mr. Signor?
Yes.
Mr. Thomason?
Yes.
5 yes.
Okay, resolution 9519 passes. Resolution 9619.
Authorize the supervisor to enter an agreement with Chazen Companies, 547 River Street, Troy, New York, 12180, to evaluate an existing sanitary sewer on Curry Road in an amount not to exceed $7,500.
Okay, may I have a motion, please?
I'll move.
Motion by Ms. Miller Herrera. Is there a second, please?
I'll second.
Okay, second by Mr. Christou. Anyone on the question? Okay, Ms. Marco, please call the roll.
Mr. Christou?
Yes.
Mr. Guidarelli?
Yes.
Mrs. Miller Herrera?
Yes.
I'm sorry.
Sorry. That'd be all right?
All right. Samantha, you said yes, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Mr. Signor?
My turn now?
Yes, I'm sorry.
Evan could go for it.
Proxy.
And Mr. Thomason?
Yes.
5 yes.
Okay, resolution 9619 passes. Resolution 9719.
The Town Board of the Town of Rotterdam hereby exercises its rights pursuant to Section 120A of the Transportation Corporation's Law of New York State and authorizes the supervisor to serve written notice on the Curry Road Condominium Sewage Corporation.
Okay, may I have a motion, please?
I'll move.
Motion by Mr. Christou. Is there a second, please?
I'll second.
Second by Mr. Signor. Okay, anyone on the question? Okay, Ms. Marco, please call the roll.
Mr. Christou?
Yes.
Mr. Guidarelli?
Yes.
Mrs. Miller Rivera?
Yes.
Mr. Signor?
Yes.
Mr. Thomason?
Yes.
5 yes.
Okay, resolution 9719 passes. Now we have consent items 98, 19, 9919, 119, and 10119. Like a motion for those, please?
Mr. Supervisor, I'll make a motion to approve consent items 98.19, 99.19, 100.19, and 101.19. That's the consent agenda.
Okay, so a motion by Mr. Christie, is there a second, please?
I'll second.
Okay, second by Ms. Miller Herrera. Anyone with a question? Okay, so on these resolutions, just so everyone knows, we're going out to bid for managed information technology services, and a couple of these other resolutions are for budget transfers for last year that we're still basically, if you will, closing out the year of 2018, and then for 2019 there are some budget transfers. And then 9919 has to do with the site plan for our proposed purchase and development of 301 Von Roll Drive for a new town highway garage, salt shed, compost transfer facility, etc. So we have a motion by Mr. Christian, second by Ms. Miller Herrera. Anyone else on the question? Okay, Ms. Mark, would you call the roll, please?
Mr. Christo?
Yes.
Mr. Guidarelli?
Yes.
Mrs. Miller Herrera?
Yes.
Mr. Signor?
Yes.
Mr. Thomason?
Yes.
5 yes.
Okay, so resolutions 98 through 10119 pass. Okay, anyone have anything on committee reports or anything they'd like to bring up tonight under miscellaneous?
Sure, Supervisor, I'd just like to comment. I'm on the Technology Committee along with Samantha. And so we've been making some improvements to the town's website, and we've talked about having forms for online fillable forms, and even a portal for the community to reach out and get information sent to them. So we're in the process of building a page that is kind of sign up for information, and hopefully someday a newsletter. So we're in the process of building that out, and hopefully in 2 weeks we may have a page we can beta test.
I would suggest, Councilman, that we keep the two girls in the supervisor's office in the loop on that as the same.
Oh,
ladies.
yeah.
What the
Yeah.
website- Ladies.
Thanks, Joe. Anyone else? Really, everybody has their Girl Scout cookies tonight, I guess, and they want to go home, apparently. Okay, so we're going to call for an adjournment? Is that what's
Mr.
happening?
Supervisor, I make a motion to adjourn.
Okay, motion for adjournment by Mr. Christou. Anyone second?
I'll second.
Okay, second by Ms. Miller Herrera. Ms. Mark, call the roll, just to make sure.
Mr. Christo?
Yes.
Mr. Guidarelli?
Yes.
Mrs. Miller Herrera?
Yes.
Mr. Signor?
Yes.
Mr. Thomason?
Yes.
5 yes.
Okay,
Adjourned.
we are closed for business tonight. Thank you very much for coming today.